All right, so this is session 36 of Descent into Fernia. Would anybody like to give the recap?
Almost fucking did it. I nearly fucking did it. One miss short.
Yep. Yeah, we spent the whole session, I think most of the session anyway, battling.
Harumon?
It was a Digimon.
Yeah.
Harumon.
Ninja Harumon. Yeah.
Battling Harumon. In true fashion, we had battled them one at a time. Because that's apparently the thing we agreed to in the prior session. And yeah, Ewan almost killed him. It was one hit away from killing Anju Harumon. And then Vegnog didn't fight. Lux
kited him around a little bit, really pissed him off.
Yeah. No, he didn't like that whatsoever. And submitted. I think that's what he was saying. He wanted people to submit. She submitted like right before he was going to like deal a killing blow, or presumably a killing blow.
He even had to do a dexterity saving throw to see if he would stop from actually connecting with that hit.
Yeah.
Which would have killed Ewan.
Yeah.
Because of the blowback.
Then he got in his I don't remember how he left, if he like left in a vehicle or if he flew away.
He was riding a nightmare.
That's right. He went back in the direction of some fort. And I have the map in my head. Because we spent a while looking at it, but the fort is off to the north, a little bit to the northeast of where we are. So we did get he gave us a map of Fernia. He gave us a map of Fernia. And I think we were going to head to that fort, was what I remember last.
So the fort is actually the location of the Flamekeep Cathedral.
Yes.
Which you have heard from Mad Maggie is what exactly did Mad Maggie say about that?
She had a poem about it.
Yes, but she also had information separate from that epic poem. She had mentioned that the cathedral was surrounded by a wall of black flame, and there were dark clouds swirling in a vortex above the cathedral with flashes of green lightning hitting in barrages around the land and the vicinity. So, up to you whether you trust Mad Maggie's information or not, but that's what you have heard from up until this point. Additionally, last session, Solomon came very near death, and actually it was Solomon, that last final hit against Solomon that ended the competition or the one-on-one, because he technically died, but through the use of magic and action points, he was able to cast Revivify upon himself as he was fading into the darkness. And as Haruman saw himself as the victor, he took Samir Kes, the soul of Samir Kes, from Solomon's arm, and then also fished out the jewel of Cloynir and smashed it.
Right, and we tried stopping him from doing that. And we all failed. I think we managed to hit him once maybe, and it wasn't enough. So, and after he destroyed the jewel is when he gave us the map, because that was how we were getting around. Was the jewel is telling us where to go, but now we don't have that.
But we also were then told, well, somebody like, I know Solomon and one other person, I don't remember who, got some sort of vision or sense or some shit. And like, I think it indicated more about the keep and how dangerous it is.
Yeah, so both Solomon and Lux, as they were both in the immediate vicinity of the jewel getting smashed, there was like a cloud of particulate remains that kind of blew up around where Haruman exploded the gem with his club. And it affected all three of you. You saw that it had some kind of effect on Haruman, but it did give Lux and Solomon both visions. And Haruman also seemed to be really hopeful that he would see you again, because he wants you guys to get stronger and be even more worthy opponents. So he has some strange honor code or some kind of some goals that seem to be not necessarily aligned with just whatever it is that he's doing with those who have aligned to
He's a purposeful evil.
yes.
If one were to put it on an alignment thing.
So finally, you guys were able to make it back down to your demon grinder. You guys were able to get some sleep, alleviating some of you of a level of exhaustion. Plus, if any of you wanted to use any charges from some of the soul points that you have, you could have done so. But
I did do so.
And as you woke up, you found something eating the soul coins in the bag that you were keeping them in, and it's eaten at least 2 of them.
I'm gonna try to run after it and hit it with. Well, first I'll try to hit it with a crossbow.
Well,
it's
in the vehicle. So, which is part of the reason why you guys can. That's where the map is. So, if you guys want to put yourselves in the vehicle, and then that'll determine where.
I wasn't driving just yet. I got beat up. I guess we wook up, so I guess maybe I'd be close.
You guys
we
had
got
just
rested,
woken up. You guys had just woken up.
Because I did use the couple of or a coin, because that's right, yeah.
Yeah, Vegnog would be man spreading on that couch there.
I have that after the coins getting eaten, there are 15 soul coins left. And then I have that Ewan and Lux both have 1 level of exhaustion still. And then Project Ezreal and Solomon have levels of exhaustion as well.
Oh, thank Is it cured by a full night's rest?
Yes.
Okay. I shouldn't have any because I only had one.
Right. Oh, Brendan's joining.
Nice.
Yeah, I think you had one prior to the fight, right?
I had 3. I cured 2 of them with a coin,
Mm-hmm.
and then I rested to get rid of the last one. So I'm good.
Okay.
And that's how Project Ezreal died.
Oh.
Oh, we just finished our recap.
Oh, that's right, Brendan. You weren't here for the last session.
I've been here for 2 sessions, I think.
Wouldn't you know it? It was a grapple check.
Someone died to a gravel check?
No.
All right, so Brendan, I'll give you the quick Cliff Notes version. You guys were heading up a hill based on where the gem was telling you to go. The hill was covered in these iron trees. Spiked upon these iron trees seemed to be these humanoid people who were in extreme agony. Solomon removed one person from the tree. He said thank you and then immediately disintegrated. Then creatures that were feeding on the people in the trees came and attacked. You guys defeated them. You got to the top of the hill where there was one great tree with only one person staked upon it. He claimed to be a important figure in the Church of the Silver Flames history. And then a big bad came flying in on a nightmare and challenged everyone to one-on-one combat because this figure that was on the tree couldn't be removed from the tree without destroying him. So instead, Solomon did a ritual that basically, because it was a manifest soul. And so it transferred the soul into Solomon's arm. And so Solomon could kind of hear the guy's emotions, but not really his thoughts or anything like that. Haruman, he harvested all of the manifest souls from the trees and wanted the one that was in Solomon. And so he was like, let's do this one-on-one. If you guys best me, then, you can go free. If not, then I get the soul. He also seemed to be able to smell the power of faith upon Solomon, which may have been him sensing Solomon's connection to the Silver Flame, or maybe Kloiner. And then everybody fought against Haruman. Haruman managed to win, and then causing actually killing Solomon.
Barely.
Killing Solomon?
But Solomon, through some action points and spell slots, was able to cast Revivify on himself as he was going into the light.
Sheer devotion. Sheer
Yes.
devotion.
And then took back the soul from Solomon, smashed Kloiner, which then made Kloiner like a poof of like particulate gem that Lux, Solomon, and Haruman were all kind of encompassed in that cloud, and all of them seemed to be affected. Lux and Solomon both had visions. Haruman's like, I hope I see you guys again. You're worthy opponents. Get stronger. Don't die. Here's a map. And then bolted on his nightmare. And then you guys got back down off the hill. You rested. You got a long rest in. And then when you wake up, you find that some smoke creature has found its way into your bag of soul coins and has eaten 2 of them.
Fuck. Who's on Soul Watch? Soul Coin Watch.
Project Ezreal, because of the long rest, you only have one level of exhaustion
Beautiful.
right now. You did have 2, but
That's what I gotta do. Just don't come in for a couple of sessions. I get healed it all the way back up. We good.
so
So I'm gonna shoot the smoke thing.
first, Project Ezreal, can you see the map?
I can see the car. Yes.
Put yourself somewhere in the car.
Okay. I will be here.
One of these spots, because you guys just woke
Oh,
up
okay.
and these are like the sleep. This is like the sleeping area.
Oh, this is a sleeping area. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be next to Fake Nook. Actually, no. My stepmom or my mum.
All right, so this little guy, let me go get him. Where is he? Here he is. So he's right here, because I assume the soul coin bag was probably near the storage area, or maybe even in the storage area.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And then sorry, I'm preparing for the screen share because I forgot to do that. So this little guy looks to be like a black smoke creature, is sitting there, and he's like in the bag going like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, he's noshing on our coins.
Yeah.
Can we put him in the sack with the skull?
I think we left the skull.
I thought we put him in our storage container and then just shut the box up.
Oh, in the room in Mad Maggie's.
Yeah,
But you
we
didn't
didn't
actually
retrieve
take it
him?
out. No.
Oh, damn.
I have no desire to do that.
Yeah, you guys don't want Barnabas to be in your crew.
Fucker was trying to eat our coins like this guy was.
Yeah, fed him. Could have fed him to somebody, you know.
Yeah. So I want to shoot a warning shot through its face.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
All right.
Don't hit me.
$27.
All right.
For Ewan's probably 5 feet away.
So
So I could sneak attack could count. If
all right,
you know
so
it counts against smoke creatures.
you shoot your is it a crossbow?
It is a crossbow.
You shoot the bolt incredibly true. getting it right between its two little beady eyes. It's of its tiny little head, but the bolt seems to pass harmlessly through, embedding itself in the chair at the helm of the demon grinder, and it doesn't even seem phased.
Get out of there. Get out of our coins.
I'll get up and
Next
reach
time,
through.
next time I'll hit you for real.
I'll like reach to grab him. If my hand just passes through, I'll just grab the bag of coins and fucking yank them away from him.
So yeah, you actually do reach through him, and the smoke kind of climbs up your arm, and then like he's just chilling on your shoulder as you grab the soul coins, and then he
did this last time, and then I went.
oh yeah, and Lux tried to breathe him in.
Mhm.
It was a bad trip for Lux. So you knock him away with your breath, but then he reforms, climbs around your neck to your other shoulder, and then kind of like becomes like a smoke form trying to push through into the bag. Like I assume you're holding it very tightly, where it's pretty
like away from him. Like I'm like, as soon as I might get a chance, I'm gonna like sort of like channel that power of the dragon shard and fucking just try and punch through him.
So what does it look like when you channel through the dragon shard?
I mean, I probably for the first time ever do I like truly acknowledge. I sort of let it flow, casually, so it's just not like super refined power. So it's the +1 or whatever. Like for the, this time I like focus on it and like see if I can gather any of it into my, onto the face of my fist before I push through and punch.
So you punch. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
My real fist, not the smoke one, or no, the mechanical one.
Mm-hmm. So you punch right through it. It just turns the smoke, and then you can hear him go like, and then he begins flowing into the engine, where, well, specifically where you guys insert soul points.
We've pried that thing open before.
How do we combat smoke? Lux, you are experts in such situations.
Lux is still hacking a bit from the time she tried to inhale the thing.
We've run into this thing before.
Mm-mm. But Ewan, are you pulling the face off of the soul coin slot?
Well, not if I'm holding the soul coins.
You are in one hand, yeah.
Yeah. I don't want him to even be fucking close to this thing.
Okay.
Like, I think for the most part, our vehicle is, kind of dormant, or is it? I don't know. I don't remember how we.
It is. It's not really dormant, because in order to get the internal environment to be comfortable, the thing has to be running. Otherwise, the heat from Fernia will seep into it, and it will become like a hot box.
Then
Fun kind.
before I step over there, I'll just sort of like toss the bag over to Vegnog, Toss a coin to your Vegnog. And then I'll move over. And then I'll do it.
Whole valley of plenty.
You
Volley of hell. What's that?
you pull the face off of the coins, the soul coin slot, and you see the smoke creature just about to it's just about to chomp into the soul coin that's in there, and then he sees you, and then he grabs the soul coin and tries to back into the corner.
I just like fucking channel one more time. Come on, you motherfucker. And then fucking
Yeah, it's you just punch the soul coin.
I don't know, then I'll grab it. And yank it.
Let me see if I can get some sort of refund, I guess, from this beast. And I walk up to like where Ewan is, and I put my arm in there.
You can't stand there though.
Oh, I can't stand there.
No.
Okay, well, on the same square as him, I guess.
Yeah.
And I
Back up.
throw my arm in there and cast Life Drain on the smoke creature.
Okay. Do your thing.
Attack roll. Yeah.
Nice.
Take this away from me. It's my first crit.
So go ahead and roll it again.
Okay.
You drain all the power from the vehicle.
Okay,
Yep.
so it
Slap,
is
slap.
it is a successful critical. So go ahead and roll D100.
It engorges. It becomes 3 times as large as it feeds off of the necrotic energy.
Unfortunately, it's unaffected by this and affects Ewan.
Do I
26.
so there's that point of exhaustion? Is that part of your D100?
So the target is knocked prone and disarmed and all that. So, well, I don't know what that is. And then so you deal. So as you do this attack, and so first of all, you get half the damage rounded down in temporary hit points. So you dealt 24.
Oh, that was
necrotic
24.
damage.
Okay.
So you get 12 temporary hit points. And the creature, as you touch it, you can feel it like being completely sucked into you. And as it does, like it leaves this kind of mark across your forearm, kind of marking almost like the veins that it absorbed into as it goes up your arm. And they kind of are really strong around the fingers and the hand, and as they go up your arm towards your elbow, they kind of fade. But that kind of stays. It does. Those markings don't leave, and they're like black, inky marks on your flesh now.
I don't think he leaves us, Ewan. As I pull my hand out, and I now have like this black, like, I don't know, black veins.
Well,
Maybe we
there's
should
only-
cut it off.
Yeah, that's the only solution. Is it-
So, guys?
Which arm is it? Is it the opposite arm of that's Ewan's that got cut off?
Well, which one did Project Ezreal use?
I'm assuming my right arm. Yeah, I would have put my right arm in to sort of, because it's like on an angle. So yeah, wouldn't make much sense to use your left. Let's say like put my face up against the opposite way.
Um, Project Ezreal, you are feeling like pretty good for a second. I mean, you just got all that temporary hit points, so you're feeling a bit energized. But then all of a sudden, you're feeling a little strange.
Hey, how many soul coins did this beast eat? As I look around, partially panicked.
A couple. Why don't you go ahead and back up?
So
Are you
feeling quite lightheaded. And I make my way back.
You are looking
stumbling.
like you need an amputation. I've got you.
I don't think that's necessary, Vegnog, but thank you. If I like, let's say I'm like testing the life drain again, like can I test it on like just the air and see what it would do?
I mean, you can start using it's a cantrip, so I mean, you can
Yeah.
summon the magic at any time, but
Yeah.
the magic requires some kind of physical body to be
Yeah,
channeled through so that you can see what effect it might have.
Yeah, true. Okay. Well, I'll just hold on to that thought for now. But you can see Ezreal's, yeah, very lightheaded and a bit woozy.
Do you know
I
where
don't-
this thing came from? Did anyone see it? Actually, did Vegnog see it? Because Vegnog doesn't sleep. He just kind of like stands sentry. So like even if he's man spreading all over that couch, he's still awake.
So let's go insight. Give me an insight check.
All right. Insights. I'm good at that. 27.
So you're guessing because this thing could make itself look like wispy smoke, that and there's not much light that comes into this vehicle. The only actual window is right here at the front. And the primary way of seeing outside the vehicle is through the periscope in the chair behind the helm. So there is some like ambient light that is created in the interior of the vehicle, but it's still pretty dim. So you're guessing that, combined with the fact that this creature is essentially a creature of smoke, you just missed it.
I am sorry. I missed this creature during my watch. I am disappointed. I can amputate your arm free of charge, Project Ezreal, as my
I've had my
condolences.
chopped off countless times by Sheev, but I don't think it would work so well in this body. Thank you, but no thank you.
Well, is there yeah, I guess I'd look around to see if there's any would it seem reasonable? Well, I guess that's our only ventilation, so like we can't plug it up, can we? Or like that would have negative effects on the quality of life inside the vehicle if we plugged the hole.
Well, I mean, this is not like, it's not like an airtight vehicle, right? So even if you plug that specific space where you assume that the smoke creature came through, you don't really know if that's the only vent or the only place where that could happen. The internal temperature is managed by the infernal engine, but that doesn't mean that this vehicle is like airtight.
Right.
Also, Ewan, what did you do with the coin that was in the coin slot?
I'm just hanging on to it.
Okay, so once it's removed from the infernal engine, the demon grinder stops functioning, and you can feel it start to heat up inside the cabin.
It's too quick. All right. PE, stay far away from here in case that idle hand of yours becomes possessed.
Should be fine, but I do not mind sitting back here.
I'll put the coin back in.
Finally, some heat in this vehicle.
Yeah, in just a couple of seconds that the coin has been out of the engine, it's probably gone up like 10-15 degrees already. But once you put the coin back in and replace the faceplate, the infernal engine once more hums to life, and the temperature regulation begins to function normally again.
Do we have airtight container that we can put these coins in? I have a feeling we cannot leave them out. And it is not feasible to bar every single orifice of this vehicle either.
No. I don't know what else to do with it. Then
We
try and keep
if we
better
give
watch.
them if we give them to Alyssa, they'll go to Mallet space. So pretty safe there.
But Alyssa has to come back in order for you to give it to her in Mallet space.
Oh, what?
And then if she's gone in Mallet space, you can't get them back until she comes back.
She is like a bag of holding.
Yeah.
But well, I guess we'll need to keep better watch them, to your point. Well, do we
Set up proper watch or some light. Keep a better eye on them.
If Ewan gonna take off his shirt while in the vehicle, light it up with his
Luminous
Tubes.
tubes. If necessary.
So I've been thinking. So Med Maggie says this palace is surrounded by black flame. I don't know if I'm immune to black flame. And I'm pretty sure none of you guys are either. do we know anybody besides Haruman who could maybe help us know more, and maybe met Maggie about how to breach or protect ourselves from this flame? Do you think we could just drive through it? I mean, that didn't work the last time we tried to just drive through something. But you know, there's always there's always a chance that it could.
This isn't a digging vehicle, so
I don't know
this
if
seems
they-
more of an armored tank. Just without any weapons.
Do any of you have any kind of proficiency in any kind of smithing or artisan's tools or anything like that?
jeweler's tools.
Thieves' tools, land vehicles, and dice.
Alchemy.
Take a scraping of the metal and see how, strong it is.
I'd let you, Vegna, do an intelligence check with your jeweler's tools. But it doesn't quite line up. So also roll a d4 and subtract that from the total.
Gotcha. All right. So intelligence check. So then I get to add proficiency, which is +3. And we'll subtract this amount. Nice. That's not the crit I wanted. So 10 plus 13.
So it's still good enough to know that even though there's 2 spots where weapons could be used, but are just vacant here and here, there is a space in this section, to the back on the outside, where there would normally be a wrecking ball, but the actual ball is missing. Other than that, it's functional. And then there's a chomper at the front, which is there, but it's not functional. So it needs some kind of work. You're not really sure what. You're not even sure if you could figure it out based on your knowledge of jeweler's tools. But I mean, you're familiar enough with that, whatever it is that you're looking at, that you can tell that it's repairable. It's just not currently in a state of usefulness. Additionally, even though the weapons that would be mounted here and here are not there are still spaces, because it requires you to exit the vehicle in order to operate those weapons. And so even though the weapons are not present, a person could go up top and sit kind of in those spots and use their own personal ammunition or weapons. Additionally, there is a hatch in the middle right here to the top of the vehicle, and that's another space where a person could go up top, and there's no place to put, or at least that you can see, there's no place to mount a weapon similar to here and here, but a person could get outside of the vehicle here and relatively safely stand and use their own personal weapons in defense of the vehicle.
Yeah, but where do we put the contraption where we can put a guy on a fishing rod? Like in Mad Max.
Oh, that's out here. if you wanna convert the wrecking ball to something like that.
I mean, as long as I just want to get like a Miley Cyrus like character on that wrecking ball, just have him flailing around out there.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
They come with the wrecking ball. We gotta go find it first.
you just got to be real. You just got to be real careful because it's probably gonna have its own risk of whiplash damage. So
Oh yeah, the whiplash is real with a wrecking ball.
yeah.
Hey, at least this time we'll have it. And he
Yeah.
won't.
I mean, not necessarily to whoever's riding it.
So Vegnog's identified various areas of the vehicle that are missing weapons or have slots for weapons or have non-functional weapons. Was he able to reach any conclusions on the kind of the whether or not this vehicle is like flame retardant or
Yeah, I think that would be something that Chuka and Clonk would have went over with you guys. And if you guys actually look under player characters, vehicles, you have not only do you have like the handout showing you the demon grinder and everything about it, but also you have the character sheet, and you should be able to access that. You would have all the information here regarding the stats. This is all stuff that your characters would be aware of.
Oh yeah. Well,
Gotcha.
But it says immune to fire, not black fire. And we
It's
don't know
true.
if that's its yeah.
He has
It's
a
its
color
distinct
specific.
element. Yeah.
it's whiplash fire.
Well, then which fire are we
Whiplash
immune
fire,
to?
yeah.
Like it doesn't say.
Red fire. Maybe
Does it
blue
say
fire.
red? Does it say red fire? Yeah, it doesn't say. We don't know what color.
True. Yeah. What's the default fire in hell?
Well, in Fernia, it's just fire, but you're not dealing with Fernia. You're dealing with whatever forces are holed up with Jaila Duran and
So immunity fire red. Got it.
Yeah.
Damage vulnerabilities fire black.
Yeah. 100%. That's the whiplash fire we got to worry about.
So our vehicle has lots of spaces for weapons and other battlements that we might want if we're going to go charging through into Flame Keep.
Figure out where the hell to get them.
Well, let's look at our map. Maybe there's a more scientific method than driving around looking for junkers to find good weapons. Maybe find a place that looks like it could be some sort of junkyard for Fernia. I mean, there's got to be a junkyard.
Yes. Maybe. Well, Mad Maggie would definitely know, but Chuka and Clonk, they would have a pretty good idea as well. It's too bad we're so far away.
Yeah, it's not a good idea to go back there.
I know last time we were going in like that straight line and we ended up running into like that little war which was going on.
Mhm.
Wasn't there like some sort of tornado or something at the same time that we could see? Is that something we can see in the distance?
Tornado.
Yeah, wasn't there like some sort of like dust tornado or something that we
That's
drove
what we-
through?
We went into it, and that's what
Oh
we fought.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a kind of a. It seemed like almost like a dust storm, right? Which, considering the terrain is mostly made of ash and char, dust storms are pretty likely.
So they're like sort of everywhere. Like
I mean, they can. It's not outside of the realm of possibility that they're fairly normal occurrences. Like to what extent, who knows? But in that sense, it was kind of just timing that there was a dust storm happening in the vicinity of where that battle was taking place.
okay. I thought, yeah, my assumption was like they were not creating it, but they started it or made some sort of they initiated it somehow like with their vehicles. And that's why I think like if we see a dust storm, there's most likely people or vehicles there,
Actually,
But-
that is a good assumption to make. I mean, now that you've brought that up, I think that may have been part of the reason why I mentioned dust storm, to show that there were vehicles kind of hauling around there. And they did have the vehicle that they escaped on. So that wouldn't be outside of the realm of possibility that you could use that as a way of finding, other people that might be traveling the wastes.
How do you feel about driving through some dust, Ewan?
How do I feel about it? I don't know. We don't have much of a assault capabilities on this particular vehicle. It might be that we perhaps find a high hill, a different high hill than the one that seems to be controlled by Deva Haruman. And scout and see if we can find something we can scavenge.
I can go up top and keep a lookout.
So all of you begin to hear a very strong, like a loud whistle, and you feel the vehicle rocking a bit, and then you hear thunder.
We look outside.
So if you use the either look outside to the front or using the periscope, you begin to see another one of those pyroclastic storms where the vehicle becomes, you can see it coming in the distance, and then it envelops the vehicle, and you can feel it rocking a bit, and you can see that the visibility is suddenly greatly diminished, and the winds are very strong.
Quick, hold the slow coins tight. Don't want any of those creatures ripping through here.
Let's get this thing moving out of the storm.
Is Vegnog holding the bag of coins?
I'm not sure who had them.
I threw them to you.
Oh
remember?
yeah, so Vegnog
there you go.
is,
Oh yeah, cool.
and
Alright.
he's like,
There's a new song about it. I mean, how much do we say? Could we tell how much charge was left on our coin?
Yeah, so each charge of a soul coin gives you 12 hours of the vehicle running. So you have one more charge left in the current coin, which will get you to the end of the day today.
All right. Does this thing say how fast? Speed 100 feet. Oh, nice. Let's fucking move.
Is anybody going to be in the viewing chair?
Well, Solomon was another person who had land vehicle proficiency.
Well, okay, so let me so let's pull up the demon grinder again. So what's that here? So this with this layout, so this seat is where the person actually pilots the demon grinder. And you can see outside, you know, there's the viewing window right here that you can see, but the visibility is rather limited. You only really get to see in front and not even very well, just because of the greater importance in these vehicles is placed on the armor, since they're clearly built to be made for battle. So this seat right here, though, this is where a person can sit and they can use a periscope, which gives much greater visibility. And the person here actually can use their perception check to see anything that might be going on around the vehicle. So the person sitting there can see in a full 360 degrees. They have better sight immediately around the vehicle, like, because they're able to kind of look down a bit too. And that's also the person that activates the chopper in the front, if it were functional. So the person here mostly does the driving and the maneuvering. Person here does the chopper and the seeing.
And all the rest of the spots are sort of for weapons we don't have or haven't repaired.
Right.
Oh, Vegnog said he wanted to keep. Oh no, he wanted to keep watch on the coins. I don't know. Do you want to use the periscope, Vegnog?
Yes, I can do that.
Give the coins to Lux.
So yeah, I'd hand it to Lux.
All right.
By the way, Lux, do you remember the vision that you had that I sent you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I copied it down. I got it.
Okay. There's also a you should have a handout as well under player handouts in chapter 3 that you should have the ability to see, to reference as well.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, it's there.
So Vegna, you're gonna take up co-pilot, periscope,
Yeah,
watch. That's the watch position.
yeah. I think that makes the most sense.
Okay. So
You know, like, could Vegnog, because when he powers down, he's still alert. like he could literally fall asleep on watch out the periscope and like be on watch the whole time.
Right. So with Vegnog, you don't actually sleep. You just and actually like your rest, you can continue to do light activity, and watching is light activity.
Yeah.
Light activity would also include like if you wanted to work on studying something, or if you wanted to like use your jeweler's tools to do some kind of light activity. So there's a lot of things that you can do while you're technically in your long rest. So there's no problem with you actually not just like imagining you're kind of falling asleep at the periscope and it's just you're passively kind of there. You would be able to like look, you know, actively around, and it wouldn't break your long rest.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. So yeah.
I mean, you're essentially a golem. You're a sentient golem, so you don't require sleep. But I mean, in order to
Okay, cool.
in order to recharge your normal mechanical abilities, you have to have something that is reminiscent of a rest, but it doesn't, as long as you're not like lifting heavy boxes or doing anything that would be considered strenuous activity, then that would be fine.
Makes sense.
Or like moving. You wouldn't be able to like walk or travel anywhere while you're doing a long rest.
Right. That makes sense. So yeah, we'll still take the periscope and be perpetually on watch.
Okay. So as you look through the periscope, you see that the storm has really obscured a lot of your vision. You probably can't see more than 30 feet in any direction because the cloud is so thick. And then you also get the occasional flashes of bright light as lightning strikes the ground around you, and sometimes even strikes the vehicle, although it's grounded, so it doesn't really you know, it doesn't affect anybody on the inside. It doesn't seem to damage the vehicle. But you do see that, and that is disorienting as you're looking through the periscope. But you guys are able to get going. Does Ewan, is there any particular direction or heading that you're trying to maintain?
I mean, we were heading in a direction, so I'll just go forward.
Okay, so mainly you're not really trying to get anywhere in particular. You're just trying to get out of the pyroclastic cloud.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's rough going for a while. It probably is about half an hour before the cloud seems to let up and you seem to be coming out the other side. But before that, actually, before you get close to the end of the cloud, Vegnog, as you're looking through the periscope, you see a massive shape just plop down right in front of the vehicle within like 20 feet of the front of the vehicle. Like it's just massive. It just crashes to the ground.
Is it so massive that there doesn't like, is it so massive that we have to stop, or like that we can't swerve around it?
Oh yeah. It's ginormous. There's no swerving around it. You'd either need to pull a complete 90-degree turn or stop. And as it comes down, you see it first, Vegnog. But the minute that it contacts the ground, the entire car shakes.
Stop. Turn around.
Fine. It's easier said than done. How big is it? Can we just run over it?
No.
You sure this thing can run over a lot?
It's very big.
And we've crashed.
I'll turn. Just crank it 45 degrees that way. To the left.
So Vegna, you see, it's really hard to see that the pyroclastic cloud is really obscuring the vision. But whatever it is, it continues up high, and everybody can hear and feel in the distance another pounding, another just almost like an earthquake shake through the vehicle. And then there's several more of those. Vegna, you see the thing lift into the sky and you don't see it again.
It is it's gone. This thing appears to be. I couldn't get a good glimpse of it, but it was very, very tall. Whatever it was, almost like some massive legs of some massive creature.
I'll do the best course correction I can do, and consider I can't see that well. But yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing we could do about that, especially if it disappeared.
You know what they say, when a problem disappears, then the problem is gone.
So you guys travel a bit further. As you guys get out of the pyroclastic cloud, Vegna, you go off in the distance. You notice this.
Are you sending it to everybody or just to me?
Just to you for now. It should be at the top of the journal for you.
Can I get a sense of how tall it is?
Yeah, it's like
Is it like the size of a mountain?
size of a small mountain.
Lux, you got to take a look at this. As he like swivels the periscope your way.
All right, I'll take a look.
All right, so I'll just assume everybody gets a chance to look. You guys see this. And, wait, why is it not letting me show? It's not popping up. So you see this size of a small mountain just kind of trudging in the distance, probably the thing that caused that you had to swerve and stop to avoid. Probably, thankfully, did not get crushed underneath its massive footsteps.
Does it look like the pyroclastic flow is like it's like surrounding it?
No.
Okay, like this thing was walking. It looks like this thing was walking through the pyroclastic clouds. It wasn't like he is kicking them up, or it's some sort of aura around this thing.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not emanating from it. It seemed like it was just trudging through it, and it doesn't seem like it affected it at all. Even though the pyroclastic cloud is probably like thousands of degrees and gale force winds and lightning, and this thing doesn't seem like it was even scratched.
Was it taller than the cloud? Is it like sticking out above them?
You know, looking back at the cloud, it's hard to say because the cloud is so large as well, and since you're just kind of coming out of it, you don't see like the edges of it. So it's very possible given how ginormous this thing appears to be.
Well, we got lucky that we didn't get crushed by that thing. It probably would have landed on us and we wouldn't even realized it. But on we go.
Yeah, it's not in front of us anymore, right?
No, it's
Perfect.
it's walking off into the distance. And you guys are now outside of the pyroclastic cloud.
Well, if we could. Does it look like it's heading in the direction of anything specific? I mean, does anything show up in the distance, on the horizon? Or is the cloud still in the way for us to even be able to look that direction?
You're able to look in that direction. I mean, how long do you want to watch it for?
No, I just want to look in the direction that it's moving
I see.
to see if there's anything noticeable.
Pull up the map.
I probably do stop and have like that fucking Jurassic Park moment.
Yeah.
So you guys are probably right about. Oh, wait a minute. Can you guys see my cursor?
Mhm.
Okay. So you guys are probably in this area right here because this is Harmon's Hill. This is the Flame Keep Cathedral. This is where you guys fought the ogre dudes. This is Fort Knucklebone, and this is the city of Flamekeep floating over the river. So if you were guessing, this thing seems like it's like heading this way, and may even be about to cross the river Styx.
Okay. Is it still called the River Styx here? That's the translation into our language.
Yes, it is, but I am going to say it does not create the mind fog that the river Styx does. Instead, it's just hyper heated water.
Sure.
That is still, it's almost like the water in the water bottles that you stick them in the fridge, and then one like movement, one disturbance, and it suddenly freezes. Same thing, except instead of freezing, turning to steam.
Right. Okay. Well, I'd probably say quietly, and whoever might be close enough or has good enough hearing might even hear me say, "I'm gonna climb that son of a bitch one day." Yep, let's get moving.
So which direction are you guys headed? Are you guys gonna head in the same direction as the monster, or are you heading to Flamekeep Cathedral, or what are you guys doing?
Do we see any? So we surmised that clouds, not of the pyroclastic varieties, but like dust clouds, may indicate other vehicles. Do we see, like, does it look like, in the horizon there's like any disturbances or anything that's kicked up that we could surmise that look like dust clouds?
Give me a perception check.
All right. Perception.
Yeah. I would say that probably around here.
Okay.
So it might take an hour or two to get to there. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty substantial dust cloud. So either it's a bunch of infernal war machines, or it could be just an atmospheric phenomena. But yeah, in that direction, you see something.
I see dust clouds in the distance, maybe hour or two out. These could be war machines that we could salvage for parts if we want to see if we can armor up this bad boy a little bit more before charging Flamekeep.
All in favor?
Sounds good.
Sounds great.
Solomon? Oh, he's asleep. All right.
Yeah, he had a big day yesterday.
He had
Almost dying, and then raising himself from the dead.
I
His
imagine
fight.
I
His
imagine
fight.
Solomon's just like staring out like that little slit of like the window in the front corner and like just not moving.
He's looking out there, but he's really just staring into the middle distance.
Yeah, like we were driving through those pyroclastic clouds and he was just like staring into the void.
It's a good thing there's no sun here. Catch him staring at it.
Mm.
Well, there's several suns, but none high in the sky. They're all in kind of between sunrise and sunset.
Mhm.
So he might be staring at the sun. All right, so is there anything that you guys want to do in the cabin while Ewan is heading towards the clouds?
Ready your weapon. Clean them. Do you have detachable arms?
I am not that kind of warforged.
Just curious. Thought it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think Bagnog would be doing anything in particular.
So as you guys are heading towards the clouds, you get closer and you do see a few vehicles. In particular, you see a couple of kind of like smaller tripod vehicles, and then a much larger vehicle. And it seems like they are also heading towards the river Styx, but you can see them heading towards a bridge that actually exists that can allow them to cross the river Styx in this location. So I'm actually gonna add a location there that right about here, there's a bridge that you can cross.
Oh, like cross north to south, not like
Mhm.
that little wispy bridge thing.
Oh,
that's-
whatever this is, the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
It's a bridge over that. It's a rope bridge. This is hell after all.
What is
Oh,
the
so
bridge?
are we in front of them right now? Like, are we? Like, could we beat them to the bridge?
They have a much further head start, but you guys, you're catching up.
Imagine their big vehicle isn't as fast.
So as you get closer, Vegna, give me an investigation check to see how much detail that you can kind of gather from these vehicles. Okay. So as you get closer, you can see that in the tripod vehicles, there's 2 people in each one. The larger vehicle, you can see that it's it seems to be built about as large as your vehicle. It does have a couple of differences, though. You do notice that there are some. It looks to be like there are some actual mounted weapons on the vehicle, and it has some kind of like similar to your vehicle. It has a claw or like a chomper type thing in the front, but it's built a little bit different. I can't really tell for sure at this distance how it's different or what makes it different. You just get the sense that there's something different about it, but it's somewhat of a similar design. So it gives you something to compare it to.
Does it look like, do the little tripod vehicles, do they have any sort of obvious weapons on them?
Those are too small and too far away for you to be able to see that.
Gotcha. So are they like in front of it, the tripod, or are they like surround it?
No, they're
Kind of like a entourage.
In a chevron formation.
yeah, it's a chevron formation with the larger vehicle in front.
Nice. Okay. Do we look outgunned?
We don't
You
have
guys
guns.
We don't have guns
literally
and they
have no
do.
guns.
So, yeah.
Unless you want Lux to just go up top and start shooting with her bow and arrow. And Project Ezreal could go pew pew with his Eldritch Blast. Or wait, Project Ezreal, do you have Eldritch Blast?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, they've definitely got the weapons. They're in classic chevron formation, and I
mean, there's a good chance they're hostile, but they aren't necessarily hostile.
well,
Might be able to work some sort of deal out with them. They
Well,
can tell that they're better equipped than we are.
it seems everybody is getting all up in our soul coins. We may be able to bargain with some soul coins for something.
Definitely.
But then we'll need to start thinking about the next soul coin cache to find.
So what is it that you're hoping to get out of this potential interaction?
Means for getting weaponry?
Yeah,
So you're primarily looking for weapons.
Big Nog to practice some diplomacy on these guys.
Yep.
yeah, weapons, or any sort of so like we know that we know that we're resistant to red fire but not black fire. So if there is any sort of trinket or aura, some sort of protection, maybe some fernial grease that can be applied to
Metal
Yeah.
sheets. Like
Maybe
Yeah.
we just help them on a raid and we get
Yeah.
to keep some of the loot.
or like they can tell us where the piles of broken car parts are. Like
yeah, we
Something we
could
can prepare ourselves.
yeah, we could join them for a bit,
Yeah,
raise hell.
definitely.
But mostly it'd be trying to get information about other areas, because as we've seen on the map, we've only really seen a small part of Fernia. And there's a lot more. And
Yeah.
presumably they would have seen some of it. So any more information about what else is out there, as well as if we could bargain or barter for weapons to add to our car, that'd be great.
So if we could just keep Solomon asleep so that we could make deals with these
Mhm.
literal
Yes.
devils.
There you go. Yep.
All right. So as you guys get closer, how are you going to signal to them that you're interested in communicating?
Wave.
This thing have high beams?
do we have a horn?
Mm.
Pull over.
Ewan looks around and he sees no horn.
This is do we have a siren? Can we like pull them over? We're the Fernia police.
You're going too fast.
Keep your hands
But
on
I
the
can
wheel.
but I can be bribed.
Don't need to drive like hell. You're already here.
Yeah.
Do soul coins have kind of like a glow to them? Like, would the glow be strong enough where if you held like a handful aloft, that there would be like a distinct aura that they could see?
Soul coins don't have any kind of glow or internal light,
Gotcha.
unless they're being like actively utilized.
Gotcha.
So everybody give me an investigation check.
Look at us, proficient at it, and rolling shit.
Send you a message, PE.
I think one of us needs to maybe climb on top of the vehicle and wave them down.
I'll do it. They're obviously friendly. I can tell.
Let me help.
All right, so Lux and Project Azrael, you both are gonna get up top.
Yeah.
What's this? What's the signal horn? Is that from? What is that? Is that just basically a horn? Is it bigger than a whistle?
Wait, where did you get a signal horn?
It's on my inventory sheet from the beginning of the game, and I haven't lost it.
Nice.
Yeah, I would say a signal horn is something that could be used to draw attention.
Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, I'll just and I'm sure that there's a like some kind of cloak or something. I'll get
Starts
that.
playing Lowrider.
Yeah, I'll just blow the signal horn and wave the cloak over the head like a helicopter.
Are you proficient in performance?
Yeah.
Perfect. Give me a performance check, but use your constitution instead of charisma.
Okay.
Can I assist by flipping my Lowrider switches here?
Those those switches, they're pretty internal temperature. It's not for getting bumping, but now they are for bumping.
Let's see. That should be. Well, that should be a 9.
Well, I'm gonna give
Do
you
have an
advantage
act-
for
Oh, I have
for
advantage?
the low rider action.
Hell yeah!
But
Oh, I didn't need to roll again. Okay.
but you and Project Ezreal both need
Dexterity saves or
acrobatics,
fall off.
acrobatics or athletics checks, or you fall off.
Acrobatics.
Uh,
Boom.
You both get a +2 because you technically have half cover, so you have more hand rails and stuff. So I'm going to say that it applies.
I have disadvantage.
You're fine. Don't worry about it. Just don't crit fail and die.
Why do you have disadvantage?
Because I have 1 level of exhaustion.
Still?
Yeah, he only
Yes.
healed 1, and he didn't eat a soul point.
Eh. But he just absorbed that fucking thing that had eaten 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave him tons of temporary hit points.
Yeah, which are now gone because I only lost a minute.
I'm going to say you have him for the rest of the day.
Okay, well, I'm about to lose it.
But
As you fall off,
do
and
you
get run over.
want to use an action point?
How many action points do I get? Just 1?
2.
2.
2. Oh, yeah, I'll use 1. Yeah. All right, here we go again. Acrobatics.
10.
Eh.
Did you get +2? You said. No.
He
Yeah,
does.
plus 10.
The +2 that gives you enough.
Oh, sweet. Luckily, thank you.
So we're gonna keep the anticipation going because with Ewan stepping away, I'm actually gonna step away as well. So let's take a 5-minute break.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. shit. I've got a dip. A friend, pardon me, a friend's car broke down, so I'm gonna go pick him up. I
Then
should
the-
be back. I probably be back in about half hour or so.
Yeah, I'll let him know. Yeah, no
All right,
worries.
thanks. Sorry, man.
Yeah,
Alright.
good luck.
Yeah, bye bye.
Brendan said he had to go pick up his friend. His car broke down. He said he would probably be back in like half an hour.
Okay. All right, we ready?
What happened to Brendan?
He had to drop his friend's car broke down. He has to go pick him up. He said he'll hopefully be back in like half hour or so.
Do the best we can. So, Project Ezreal pops into Mallet's face just as he was about to fall off the vehicle.
Perfect timing.
So, Lux, what does it look like when you are doing what you're doing while Ewan is making the car bump?
Probably doing some kind of modified like practice lack of a better word, kung fu move that I would probably like the morning rituals that I have, just kind of probably more exaggerated as I'm like balancing on one foot on the top of the vehicle, blowing my whistle.
So when you do that, you see one of the drivers of the smaller vehicle turn and look around and see you. Then he motions to the driver of his vehicle to speed up. And you can see then he bangs on the side of the larger vehicle. And you can see him gesturing, pointing towards the back view. And then you can hear them, there's some shouting, and then they start braking and then turning around and they turn to meet you. And then they stop their vehicles, but they're still in them.
Okay.
And then, so what do you do while in response?
Stop blowing the whistle. And I'm assuming they're in the like front of us.
Yeah.
I'm probably
So-
I walk. I'm on top of the vehicle and I kind of walk up to the front.
I'll ask Vegnog if he can like tell what is piloting these vehicles.
Yeah, looking through the periscope, what can I now that we're closer, do I get can I see like what the creatures are?
So you can't see into the larger vehicle,
Yeah.
but you can see, because the tripod vehicles, they're kind of like little like motorcycle tricycles, almost like ATVs, except just with four wheels. So in Vegnag, you see each of them, the back passenger seems to be some kind of, it almost looks orcish, but not quite. It has features similar to an orc. But you immediately recognize the things that are piloting these tripod things. And they are Azer skins.
Hmm. And we ran, yeah, those are the things that we ran across that one time. They're, it's some sort of orc thing. And Azer skins. I can't tell what's in the big vehicle.
Did any of those guys escape that fight?
Actually, you know what? They did. I let them go. Remember? In an act of diplomacy to make friends later.
The Azer skins?
Not the Azer skins, but the other ones.
Yeah, what about the Azer skins?
I don't remember what.
A couple of them did jump in or seem to be around the vehicle that those larger guys jumped into.
Yeah, I remember the larger ones said, "Hey, you can have our Azer skins." I think some of them got away, joined them. If only I got their names.
I guess we don't really know what the hell their dynamic is here. Only that they were being slaughtered.
The Azers were being slaughtered.
Yeah.
These are the creatures made from the Azers. These are the automaton type creatures that were fighting with those ogres.
Gotcha. I understand.
But yes, there were two
all right,
two of the Azers got away.
Gotcha. That's what I was picturing though, as the pilots, not the other things. So you could disregard that previous question for now. It might come up later if we encounter them. I don't know. Okay, so cool. I mean, so maybe those are here. Maybe we encounter them, and maybe they don't like us because we killed all their friends. But we'll see. Two of them got
I'll show
away.
you. I'll show you guys pictures of the creatures that you can see.
Can I see them as well, or
Yeah.
okay?
So the Azers are piloting the tripod vehicles, and these are the guys in the back. So far, it's just stillness right now, since you're the ones that got their attention. They're likely trying to figure out what you're doing and what your intentions are.
All right. I'll just approach till we're, I don't know, 100 feet away. Obviously slowing down. I'm not like gonna accelerate and then brake last minute or whatever. I don't want to look like I'm just, going full tilt towards them. When we stop, I mean, it's going to be Vegnog's turn to shine. I'm okay at persuasion.
So you guys have stopped. They're still just kind of waiting, sizing you up, seeing what you're going to do. And then at this distance, you can see that the difference between your chomper and the thing that's on theirs is it's a bit smaller, and it's a bit more like a grasping hand than it is like the toothy kind of chomping mechanism at the front of your vehicle.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they had a nibbler.
Vegna will get onto the roof and stand next to Lux. Hello. And then he'll wave, and he'll elbow Lux. Show them the bag of soul coins. Maybe that'll get their attention.
Not yet. No. I'm gonna sit cross-legged and start smoking one.
Right. So
Presenting a relaxed posture, like
So Vegnog would wave and then try to motion them to come forward. And if they still didn't move, he would get out and walk maybe 30 feet in front of the car or in front of our vehicle as like a show to bargain or show to meet.
Um,
Isn't Vegnog like a trader or something?
um, so you guys are, I'm putting you guys on the map only because, so that you guys can see. So you guys aren't actually on the map. And then you'll notice that on this map, the distances are adjusted. Each square is 20 feet. So, so Vegnog, you run out, or you get down to the vehicle, and you kind of are showing the bag of soul coins, and you're gesturing.
Well, Lux has the bag of slow
Yeah.
coins,
Oh.
and so she is not showing her hand.
I brought us to 100 feet.
Yeah. So we are 100 feet away, and then Vegnog will go 30 feet in front of the vehicle, and in front of the vehicle. So
So wait a minute. I think there may be a bit of confusion. This is you guys.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's a vehicle. Okay, gotcha.
Right.
yeah, so
This is their vehicles.
Got it.
Okay.
so it'd be good.
And that's why the scale is different. Each square is 20 feet.
makes sense.
Yep.
So Vegnog, you got down, and what are you doing again? I'm sorry, I keep missing it.
I'm kind of gesturing, like, for them to come forward. And if they don't, I'm going to walk 30 feet in front of the vehicle, and stand there and like gesture.
You see the door open on this vehicle, and a large creature pops out, and dun, dun, dun. He is unfortunately familiar. And he says, "You."
Can I see him
Oh.
from the window?
Yeah, you can.
I might get out of the car for that.
You're gonna get out of the vehicle?
Not far out. I'll open the side and like step out. Cross arms. Just, yeah. That's the guy. I can't remember. Is that the one that Vegnog let go? Because two of them got away.
Yep. That's the
Yeah.
one Vegna got.
The other one fled the other direction. So
It's the one that got away.
You'll notice that the larger vehicle is not the one that you saw them drive off it.
Got some new wheels.
or they're stashing some others.
So you see him kind of grin, and he says, "Have you come to die to pay for what you've stolen from me?"
Oh yeah, we took his soul coins, didn't we?
And you were about to dangle him right in front of him.
and
Here's a reminder.
and an amulet as well.
We've got all the horses. You're on the wrong side of the river. That's the situation going on here.
I have not. I see you have a new car.
You have 5 seconds before we attack.
We are looking for better weapons. We were hoping maybe you would be willing to trade.
You've come to me. You've stopped us here. You've called our attention. And now you say that you're looking for weapons after stealing my soul coins and my amulet.
They weren't very good weapons,
Oh, by
unless
Bell.
that's the best you have. We might be able to strike a bargain.
Really?
You are looking for Azers. Maybe we could help you procure more Azers.
Sure. All of the ones that we lost to you and your meddling, you could have just driven on. You didn't need to stop. You didn't need to interfere. Yet you did. And not only did you kill my men, you stole my coins, stole my amulets.
Who has his amulet?
I don't know. You took it from him, didn't you?
Probably. I don't know.
What did
If
it do? What did it do?
You guys weren't able to ascertain that because
Okay.
this was one of the few items that required actual magic to
Okay.
here, unknown
The
talisman.
unknown talisman. Okay. Oh, okay.
I will add that to my inventory. There you go. I'll turn back to Lux. I'll be like, this was not what I was expecting.
Hmm.
I'm like standing out of the vehicle now, but it's like look to Lux and like be ready to get this thing moving again.
Mhm.
You just push the lever forward. Keep that door open so we can hop in. I'll walk forward to where Vecnog is.
Look, we could have not meddled, and I actually don't remember. I don't remember why we did, because I think that we.
Now we were led there because we were told there were 2 things of interest: the coins and the amulets. So we took them both. Listen, we had good reason expect that you had coins. We needed coins. We took said coins. Now, we're here to parlay this time.
Why?
Consider it a blessing.
And why should we not just take what is already rightfully ours?
I mean, you could try, but you saw what happened the last time.
And then you hear a voice say, Dorgok, stand down. And then his face drops. He's like, but master, they killed our men, they humiliated me, stole from us. Stand down. And then a massive creature, about a foot taller than Dorgok, and Dorgok is already like 10 feet tall, steps out of the vehicle, pushes Dorgok to the ground, at which point Dorgok begins crawling back into the vehicle. And then
Cute puppy.
this is who steps out. A masked figure in armor and weapons.
Nice.
But way bigger. Way bigger than what one of those is normally looking like. Like in
Damn predator.
AVP2.
I actually haven't seen that one. Or wait, is that the movie or the game?
The movie.
I haven't seen that one.
Well, there's a fucking enormous one.
But then he addresses you and he says, my minion has a point. You have taken much from us already. And we can take that back by force now. Why should we not?
Why take the risk when we could just work together for a short moment?
You are looking for more Azers. Perhaps we can help you on this.
Oh, well, if what Dorgok and his brother said, you seemed to have some sentimentality towards them. You saved them. Why would you suddenly now put their lives into our hands?
Who had the sentimentality? Was that Solomon?
That 100%. Oh, don't worry, he's asleep right now. You don't have to worry about that.
But I am worried. Creatures like you, creatures that are unpredictable, where your allegiances are so uncertain, where 1 minute you could be freeing and saving Azers and the next killing them or sending them off to a much worse fate. One has to question, what is it that drives such a creature? So, what is it that drives you?
Survival.
And how did it increase your survival to attack my men, to interfere in our operation?
To be known, we didn't attack your men to save the Azer. We attacked your men for their soul coins.
That is a problem, because soul coins are incredibly valuable.
Oh, well, Tell that to the shadows that ate them.
You let a shadow method eat your coins.
And listen, nobody warned us. We're new here.
Clearly.
Well, if you do not do, if you do not wish to, if there's more than, if you do not wish to discuss Azers or question our methods in helping and helping you hunt them, is there something else that we could potentially, a problem we could potentially help you out with in exchange for either information or additional fortifications for our vehicle?
What can you offer? You have no weapons that I can see on your vehicle. You are strong, it seems, but without an infernal war machine or the weapons that are mounted upon them, you would not survive very long. So
It wasn't an
That's-
infernal war machine that killed your men.
no, but had they been inside of it, they would have had no difficulty wiping the floors with your
But they weren't.
intestines.
But they weren't. And not everything is inside an infernal war machine.
No, but most things that you'll encounter, you will wish that you had one. You were lucky when you caught my men off guard like you did. But I have the superiority right now. I don't see what much value you offer if you have no weapons outside of the ones that you can hold in your hands.
Well,
Then what good are you?
That's an easy to fix problem right there. Give us weapons.
Yeah. Right. And what are you offering to trade for those weapons? You've taken my soul coins, so I will expect that I get those back. And then you would need to pay for the weapons then. But I assume that you're not just going to part with the soul coins that you have. Am I supposed to just loan you weapons? And for what purpose? Once again, what value do you offer me that I can't take from your corpses?
Did you have something like in your ear preventing you from hearing my friend here? He said, we will assist you.
Yes, but once again, if you have something in your ears, what kind of assistance can you offer if all you can offer are your bodies?
Give us the weapons. We help you fight. Transaction complete.
Is
Simple.
there-
Can you follow that one?
You expect me to trust you with weapons?
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you take me for a fool.
I take you for someone who will take a good opportunity. We are skilled. We've survived this long. We're looking for a little umph. Then our quarrel with you is gone.
So you think, so you assume.
That's fair. That's fair. It would be funny.
I'm not going to just give you weapons up front for a task. But if you wish to get into my good graces and pay the debt that you owe to me from what you've taken, then perhaps there is something you can do.
Let me ask you this, just right quick, before you go on. If some other demon were to have assaulted your men and taken your stuff, would you seek them out?
In fact,
What if
we
it
are
were-
going to be seeking you out not too long from now?
What if, let's say, it were? Are you familiar with Garuda Haruman?
I have some knowledge of him.
We have met. We have exchanged blows. Almost departed on friendly terms.
It's supposed to impress me.
It
It's
should.
supposed to concern me.
It could be a useful ally.
Just because I have some knowledge of him does not mean that this means anything. There are many creatures, both powerful, wise, and skilled across this land.
Do they any of those? I mean, I'm surely some of them do. Do you have a hill named after you? Because this guy did.
I am a warlord of this land. I have 30 men who follow under me.
This guy didn't seem to need any.
Well, good for him.
What do you have in mind?
I have rivals. Take care of some of these rivals, and perhaps your debt can be paid, and perhaps even more rewards can be bestowed upon you.
Would you like their skulls, their ears, their teeth?
Their spines.
What the
Any
token?
trophy you wish to provide is fine.
Flay them and hang them in a
The
tree.
only thing that matters is that they are gone.
Why haven't you taken care of them yourself? Just a curious question.
Because my resources are not infinite. While I have many under my command, I still have many sides to this conflict to maintain my lands.
Where do your lands begin and your lands end?
You're not from here, so I don't expect that you would understand.
Yeah, I don't think that's important. Where's the nearest one?
The greatest thorn in my side is a necromancer by the name of Feanor. If you deal with her, then, well, the rewards I could bestow upon you for such a deed would be great. Even if you were to put a dent into her forces or in some way subvert her power, you would not need to kill her, but simply to disrupt her, wound her, make her suffer in some way.
That sounds reasonable.
Point the way. How do we get there? Sounds easy. Is that it? You just want to kill her? Not a problem.
How many?
It shows your naivety to think it's so easy.
Maybe.
How many? What? How many guard her? What sort of defenses does she have
He's a
Is she-
necromancer.
besides that? She's surrounded.
All of the enemies that she has slain have now joined her in death. So her army grows with each victory. But she has kind of flair. You may be able to get close. You may be able to do something. Perhaps if you survive the undead minions that she surrounds herself with. If you were to accomplish anything that would negatively impact her ability to hold on to her forces, then I would be in your debts rather than the reverse.
Would you or one of your men, preferably not Dorgok, be able to help repair the front claw of our vehicle? It would be useful in chomping through armies of undead.
Listen to me when I say that I could care less if you actually accomplish this goal. I don't think that you will, to be perfectly honest. I don't have much faith in you. You're fine warriors, it would seem, but once again, without an infernal war machine, you're not going to get very far. So I will savor in the thought that you died trying to pay off the debt that you owe me from what you have taken. But I am not going to help you. You need to earn what it is you seek from me. And if you have nothing to offer immediately in exchange for such repairs or weapons, then we have nothing more to say.
How many soul coins would it be worth fixing the front, repairing the grinder be to you?
You see him look over and he calls out, Dorgok, how many soul coins did these mortals steal from you?
That idiot can't even count.
He responds, but it's muffled. You can't hear it from inside. 20 soul coins for repairs.
We don't need it. Which direction again?
Leonor is to the north.
Oh, to the north, you say?
You will immediately recognize the dark castle in which she dwells. It's in the shape of a skull, a dragon skull.
Yep. We got him half of that. We'll get there.
All right.
you somehow managed to disrupt the forces of Fëanor and have evidence of your work, come back to this area. We'll find you.
Will do.
And
Until
you can
next
hear
time.
you can hear some muffled voices from within the vehicle, and you see Buja turn to the vehicle and say, "Shut up, Dorgok. Shut up, Drac. This is not your concern. Be lucky that I don't whip you in front of them for your failure."
Could you please? That'd be hilarious.
No, they are my minions to do with as I wish. And while they have failed me, they are still useful. Is whole.
All right.
All right. Vegnaga is just gonna start walking back into our vehicle.
And then he doesn't say his name, but he does let you know that he calls himself the Shadow of Death.
Rather pompous title, honestly.
And then after that, he walks into the vehicle and they begin heading back in the direction of the bridge.
I'm remembering now that the amulet wasn't Dargox. It was the mage one that we killed.
Oh, right. What was that guy's name? Not that you guys would have known anyways, because they didn't give their names. Or Garth.
Oh yeah, I remember Hogarth. It was Orgarth.
Yeah, you guys killed Ogarth, Tak, and Mo. Dorgok and Drac survived.
One of them survived. The other one was let lived.
True.
Yes.
So you can see the dust cloud build as they begin to travel away. So what are you guys' thoughts in the wake of that? What are you guys planning to do now?
Sounds like we gotta have ourselves a plane.
Well, it would be useful if we had a working front part, a working grinder at least. If we have
The
to
grind-
run
The
over
grinder
on-
would do no good for us because we'd have no coins to get anywhere.
No, yeah, I'm not going to spend 20 slow coins. It's outrageous. Even if it is the money we stole from you. It's worth maybe 5 soul coins at the most.
Honestly, it feels like, a free for all out here. I don't think he has any claim to it anymore. So, as far as I'm concerned, they aren't his.
But
Maybe next session, whenever Solomon wakes up, we just don't tell him about this. Just tell him, hey, we got ourselves a demon we got to go kill, or necromancer even worse. I don't know. It might be a demon, I guess. It's still probably a demon.
We might have a better offer.
yeah,
Girl. Yeah, I mean, fuck that. I don't have any specific allegiance to this guy. I don't care. Yeah, what do we care? Who we betray in a place that's filled with evil beings.
Um, I do think we should at least go visit this castle and see if we can get inside.
Yeah.
If we were able to create soul coins, and I know it is very difficult to do, but if it is the currency. If we were able to create it, then it would be much easier to bargain with people. We need to find a way to to strike better deals.
Yeah, I mean,
And perhaps this necromancer has this ability, or has a mechanism that would facilitate this. So even if we don't kill her, or even if we don't take care of her for the shadow of death, though even if we don't take care of her for him, it could be good for us.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen? She turns us into zombies? I don't know. Feanor sounds like a dark elf.
I'm curious what Lux is thinking in all of this.
I mean, well, this guy knows what our vehicle looks like now, so that's not particularly good. I was debating on whether to shoot him, since I didn't shoot the guy in the last fight. But we are outnumbered.
Only because we have sleeping members.
True.
I don't think Solomon's sleeping. He's just like staring at the wall right now.
Like a cat.
His intelligence is so low, he doesn't know how to close his eyes when he sleeps.
But I think going to see this warlord, because this necromancer, because actually she could offer us something that, more valuable. Who knows? Maybe I would just come back and kick this guy's ass.
And between now and then, we need to really work on our value proposition and our brand.
Leave it to the master merchant that can have those considerations at the forefront.
How will we crush enemies if we don't have a brand to crush them with?
I got a fist.
That's good. That's the start of the brand.
It seems to do the trick for me. Yeah, I don't generally need a brand. I just come in with authority. Just unfortunately, that authority doesn't mean much down here.
Authority is a type of brand.
Yeah, have we properly met on you and Dross of House Denaith? Anyway. something to point us at. Get moving since we can't get into this cathedral yet.
Right.
So with where the Fëanor is, it's where the Sarlacc pit is.
I thought you said it was where the dragon head was.
Wait, is there a dragon head on here?
Yeah, right
Mhm.
in the upper left corner.
Oh, that's even better then. Yes. I just pulled that out of my ass. I didn't even realize there was a real dragon head on the map.
I'm like, yeah, perfect. I know exactly where you're talking about. We got that on the map. I was disappointed by the lack of labeling. Like, Black War Horrormon didn't, tell us what's there. I mean, maybe he's too scared to go there.
I mean, he has a couple of things placed on his map and some notes that you guys can't currently read.
Yeah, maybe get somebody to translate them for us.
Yeah. So I guess we could start heading to that skull.
Yeah.
Right. So you guys begin heading on a course to the skull. Anything else that you guys wanted to do in the adventure day?
I don't think there's anything else for us to really have to do. So
Yeah. If we have no magic, we can't. No amount of staring at the amulet's gonna help. So
That's what Solomon's been doing.
and I don't think that we have the tools necessary to like try
Repair
and
the chomper.
repair the thing ourselves.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Can we take a look at it?
For
Maybe
sure.
maybe find something.
You know what? Give me everyone give me an investigation check. So Ewan, at that point you realize that you haven't really checked the storage in the demon grinder. And you mention that to Vegnog. And so while you're driving, and Vegnog goes to look into the storage, and there's a whole bunch of spare parts in there, and even a couple of tools. So you may actually be able to use some of those things to repair the chomper.
Man, I am the worst guard ever. You're driving this whole time and I can't even hear clinking of spare parts and tools.
Listen, we've been a bit preoccupied. Perhaps we it doesn't you said it hasn't gotten dark here like ever, so
Right.
I don't know, maybe we just stop a little early and take a look, see if we can't figure something out.
You can do that.
If we find a place where we can pull off, like a place where we can pull off and like that seems safe in the sense that, like, you know, it's not like a cave where there's a bunch of wasps coming out of it.
Right.
Or-
A well-lit rest stop would be nice.
Yeah, like if there's like a truck stop down here.
Mhm.
I mean, there's an area, I mean, as you're driving, it's a lot of like plains, like of just ash and cracked earth. So, I mean, you can find a spot where you can see fairly well in all directions. And there's not much terrain necessarily to hide behind, so you'd be able to see something coming.
Okay. So, like, I think between Ewan's knowledge of land vehicles and Vagnog's maybe jewelry kit, because like it's obviously like a finer, everything is much smaller scale with jewelry, but I'd imagine that there's a similar kind of like handiwork that could be transferred. So I'd imagine with like at least Ewan and Vegnog probably could make it work.
I mean, with jewelry, it's a lot of manipulation of metal to create clasps or designs and things like that. So it's almost like, and then or cutting gems. So it's a lot of sculpture, but it does give you, I would say, it allows you to see finer details within things to make you notice what's going on. But there are some tools in the storage that are more appropriate to making the repairs. I would say that they're not close enough to jeweler's tools that you would be able to get proficiency on it, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't make an attempt to repair it. It just would mean that, you know, there's, you know, it may not be as likely to succeed.
Or Lux. You have tiny dexterous hands. Lux is small, right?
She's a half orc.
Well, she's 5'10".
Oh, for some reason I always thought of Lux like as like 4'8" or something.
But she only weighs 150 pounds.
Maybe your steady hands would be well suited for this.
Maybe.
All right, so basically, I'm going to need one check from each of you to work on the repairs. One check is going to be dexterity based. Another check is going to be intelligence based. And then another check is kind of going to be based on description. It'll be a little bit more free form or give you guys a bit of creativity. So you guys, well, so the first check is going to be more related to creating a plan in terms of how to approach the task. So whoever wants to take that check, you can go ahead and give me a description of maybe your thought process or what you're using to try and tackle the problem. And then based on that, I may assign a bonus to the check. I won't assign a penalty for bad stuff. It just would be no bonus if it's just kind of, you know,
Lackluster.
yeah.
So like, assuming that we're trying to fix the front, the claw.
Mhm.
So, how is it broken again? Is it just like it doesn't move?
It seems like the pieces are largely there, from what you can tell. It's just not functioning. So you're not quite sure what is causing the malfunction.
So like when it's not functioning, is that like we're like pulling a lever?
I'll let you use that in your description in terms of how you're tackling the problem if you're going for the intelligence one.
So in inspecting the front claw, inside, it looks like there's like all of the claw pieces, like the major shards are there, but you can see kind of like this object that is in between the middle claws, and in attempting to kind of in attempting to pull it out, it appears to be lodged in there. It appears to be stuck. When trying to actually activate them through one of the hand knob levers, it does move, but it's kind of the claw does move, but it doesn't move very far. It moves very slightly. So it almost appears that there's something stuck inside, and it can't get it out there, and it's tough to get it out. So
Okay.
Naga is going to suggest using the tools to try to dismantle the claw, at least the front two middle claws, so that they can get a better angle at trying to pull this thing out.
So your approach is a complete dismantle and reassemble, or not a complete dismantle and reassemble, but at least partial.
Partial, yeah.
Okay. I'll give you a D4 bonus on your check because that sounded pretty good.
23.
So that is a really successful plan. That'll definitely work very well in terms of approaching the problem. So now we have a dexterity-based attempt and a kind of free-form, choose-your-own based attempt. And Lux and Ewan each have to take one. So who wants to go next, and which one do you guys want to tackle?
Well, I'm not very good at Dex, so. But perhaps I can give you an idea. Perhaps there's some, gunk in the internal workings of the levers or knobs or whatever the hell they are. And then we need to like pry the panel off of that section and clear some of that shit out. But it's
So-
like in the gears and shit, so you gotta like get in there and not.
Is that what you're suggesting for Lux to do with her dexterity check, or?
I don't know. That could be a possibility. I don't know.
Well, so Lux, if you're gonna do the dexterity one, how do you want to use dexterity to try and tackle this problem? So the eggnog has recommended disassembling and reassembling at least some part of the components. And with his intelligence check, he's going to be pretty good at guiding that and remembering where things go. So it's really now a matter of executing it and addressing any problems that may come up along the way. So how would you want to use your dexterity to assist in the process?
So there's some kind of piece that's lodged in here.
That's Begnog's assessment.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
let's-
his recommendation, which seems like a good one, is to use the tools and some of the parts that you guys have to disassemble that part of the chomper, and then to adjust something or to take something out and then to reassemble. So you can either approach this, Peter, in terms of how you think your dexterity might be helpful in that, or anticipating some problem that may come up along the way where your dexterity might be helpful.
Okay, so remembering back to my time as city guard, when one time one of the gates was jammed and would not open, I get out my painting tools, and with Begnog's direction, I begin to carefully paint all the parts, different colors that seem to go together. And some of the like bolts or whatever, the things that are holding this on, the pins are kind of stiff, and they won't, probably have lost all their lubricant at some point, and using the paint as kind of a lubricant to help like get them loose and off. And since I'm kind of using the small little paint brushes.
Okay. I really like that idea because it's not only incorporating marking each thing to have a better sense of where it goes, but also using your supplies to give you increased leverage on the how you disassemble, because I assume then you're going to be using your dexterity to kind of get into the small spaces and use that to help with the disassembly. I'm going to give you a D6 for that as a bonus. That was good.
So what do you want me to just roll straight up dex?
Yes.
How do we do that?
Well, you're proficient with your painter's tools, right?
Yeah, so it's just
you could do your painter's tools using dexterity, or you can take the D6 bonus and do just straight dexterity. So it's basically the difference between having a flat +3 bonus or a potential bonus of anywhere between 1 and 6.
I'll do the painter's.
Okay.
But I have an action point.
Use an action point. You want to use another action point?
Ouch.
This is shitty rolls, yeah. All right. Go for broke here. Come on. Increase minimally every time, but anyway.
Okay.
Inching to the finish line.
So you're able to kind of get things moving along. It's not as successful as you had initially imagined. Unfortunately, the paint doesn't work so well as a lubricant. It's kind of drying up and actually getting stuck a little bit. So now with that, Ewan, as our wild card stat, which one are you going to try and roll, and how are you going to try and approach using the ability? And then just as a reminder, Vegnog recommended disassembling and reassembling and was able to get a good sense of where everything goes. Lux actually helped with that a bit by marking all of the mechanisms and the individual parts, but unfortunately her attempt to use the paint as a lubricant backfired a little bit, making some of them a little bit more stuck.
Okay. So then, you know, I could be pretty smart, but in this case, the smarts are taken care of, so I can rely on the meathead part of me. And I'm, you know, probably the only one strong enough to be able to hold up some of these, you know, larger pieces attached to the claw. So I can help shift and maneuver the pieces into place. And then as we're reassembling them, I can help sort of work out the paint that got sort of stuck and glued in there by just like shifting back and forth and sort of knocking it out as it moves.
Okay, so you're gonna brute force it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you an additional D4 bonus. So give me a straight strength check. Okay. So overall, you guys are able to be successful. Once you guys have finished your work, the claw now works sufficiently. It doesn't work great. You can tell that it's not quite what it could be, but it's working well enough that you wouldn't notice any issues with it. So now you have at least one weapon.
Sweet.
So let's get that changed. Chomper. No longer needs to be repaired.
Sweet.
So by then it's the end of the day, because it took a couple of hours to do all of that work. So by the time that you guys finish with it, it's basically time to take your long rest, but additionally you need an additional soul coin to power the vehicle.
Or it'll get too hot.
Yes. So now this is day 12 in Fernia that you guys are going into.
Can we, I don't know, I mean, do we want to like see how long we can, you know, feel comfortable in here? Like it might not be very long and we just put the fucking coin in and get the AC cranking, but
After 20 minutes, it's about 110 degrees inside the the demon grinder.
Alrighty.
Gets very uncomfortable very quickly.
New soul coin it is then.
Yeah.
So, so you guys do that. You take your rest and prepare next day to start heading over to Fëanor's.
Perfect.
What's her name?
Fëanor. Feonor. And then I'm gonna adjust the map to include the location of the bridge where you met the Shadow of Death, and then where Fëanor's is supposed to be located.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
So I know it was a little weird as a session. Well, not weird, but a little bit lighter since, you know, last time we were spent the entire time fighting. And then we also don't have everyone here. But what do people think?
It's good. Like I was thinking like it sounds like we're not strong enough to attempt breaching the castle. So Begnon was like, all right, you know, we just need to get more money. We need to get more money, more weapons. And how does one get more money, more weapons? Is you got to find people who will give it to you or steal it. So
I was trying to, you know, invoke something in that guy. Just, you know, like, you know, hey, you may think you're all badass, but like we're nothing to be trifled with. We dispatched your people with ease.
Yep.
yeah,
Seem to care less about how you guys could do and what your war machine could do.
The guy's an idiot. You know, he didn't want to add to his entourage a little bit for, you know, a little bit. All right, fine.
yeah.
Some people who are obviously stronger than his people that he has with him currently.
But no, it'll be good to explore what Fëanor, how like what she had, like what role she plays in.
I hope she gives us a better offer.
Yeah, maybe she gives us a better offer.
Right. I mean, because this will be the third warlord we've met.
Yep.
far as
Mad
we know.
Maggie, and then the Shadow of Death, and then Fëanor.
Yeah.
And what's his fuck it? Is he not really a warlord? What is the, you know,
Oh, Haruman?
High Haruman?
He's his own thing.
Yeah.
I'm, you know, Eundros is a kind of wanting to have another fight with that guy.
Yeah, I mean we need to get to another situation where somebody dies so we can level up.
Yeah.
So maybe Fëanor is it.
All right. Well, I appreciate everybody playing tonight.